Welcome to the ANEW Body Insight Podcast, empowering and inspiring your journey to optimal health. Hosted by Dr. Supatra Tovar, clinical psychologist, registered dietitian, fitness expert, and author of Deprogrammed Diet Culture. Rethink your relationship with food, heal your mind, and live a diet-free life. And Chantal Donnelly, physical therapist and author of Settled, How to Find Calm in a Stress-Inducing World. Here at City Club Los Angeles, we follow our guests' journey to optimal health, providing you with the keys to unlock your own wellness path. Tune in and evolve with us. Welcome back to the ANEW Body Insight Podcast at City Club LA. We are back for the second half of our interview with fitness celebrity Tracey Mallett. Tracey. Yes. Tracey gave us some illuminating information on her return to health after her health scare and how she bounced back with vigor and vitality. We are eager to learn more.
Tracey, last episode, we left off with you telling us how you would change the way you were eating and exercising as you get older. Mm-hmm. Is there one big piece of advice that you would give to people on how to change things up as they age?
There was lots. That's why I stuttered there, because there's so many. That's really hard for me to say one, and I can't say one. I think one thing is, don't underestimate the power of walking. We don't think of walking as exercise. We come from a generation where that wasn't classed as exercise. And I do really think you underestimate the power of walking, because getting, your steps in a day, walking really does help. It's a low impact. You're burning energy, burning calories, energy in, energy out at the end of the day. You want to bring it back to really simplistic. Walking for me, I walk more. I've got my dogs, 4 dogs. Yes, crazy girl. I love dogs. So I walk a lot with the dogs and traveling a lot, walking a lot, and that's made a big difference. I really feel that we definitely should walk more. The next thing is something that I've done intermittently through all of my life, but not consistently. So one thing that I have not done consistently in my life, and that really is picking up weights. I started weight training when I was younger, when I was in my 20s. I met my husband. He was very much into weight training. He was like, you should do this. Okay, I'll start doing it. I was like, I don't really like this. I'd rather do my Pilates. I'd rather do my dancing and da-da-da-da. So I've kind of been off and on all my life. I wouldn't say I've never not done it, but it's not been consistent in my life. And if I could look back and say something to my former self, would have been to be a lot more consistent with weight training. Because when I did, I obviously looked better, felt stronger, more empowered. And that was one of the things that I was like, okay, I've got to add that more into my workouts. And so how I did this was, I really truly believe exercise should be fun. Otherwise, you're not going to stick with it. You've got to find something that's really fun that you really enjoy. So I didn't want it to be a chore. So I just added it to what I already love, which obviously, I love Pilates. I love doing mat Pilates, loving adding strength training to that. So even with all my clients, they do a lot more strength training now because I've implemented it more into my workouts. But then I will go into the gym and I'll do a lot, maybe 20 minutes, do really basic stuff, on the pulleys, lift some weights, but not a huge amount because I implement it into all my other workouts. But strength training is important. We need muscle mass to increase our muscle, to increase our metabolism. We hit 40, we're losing so much muscle mass rapidly every month. And if we don't take precedent at an early age, it's just harder and harder as we age. Luckily, I was already in good shape to start it, but I'm working with people that have never weight trained in their life before.
Right.
And now to add it into their life when they hit 40 and 50, even 60, I'm actually really proud on my app. Like, I have women from probably late 20s, early 30s, all the way to in their 70s.
Great.
And I want to tell you this quick story because it's really empowering. Okay. So I just was in Rome. And I did a bar workshop that I thought was for instructors. And then these 3 ladies appeared, and they were like, one of them specifically, she was like, I've been on your app since COVID, and I'm your biggest fan. You know, she was so lovely. She just came wanted to make me do the workout. She was 59, that's right, because she happened to have the same birthday as Chris. She turned 60 in August. She looked amazing. I was so proud of the fact that she found, and I said, how did you find me? She said, I just went on the internet and you just resonated with me. She said, I don't know why. And like, you've been my savior all the way through COVID. I put your workout on, and it just made me feel good. It empowered me. It made me feel strong. And now I'm strength training. I'm doing my Pilates, and I love bar. Aww. Wasn't that so nice? I ended up spending the whole afternoon with her. She took me around. She lives in the middle of Rome. We went to this rooftop place. And I was like, wow, this is what this industry is about. It's making connections.
Yeah.
The connections that we've made, we've been here, and many in our audience today, the connections, and you're like, it's through health and taking care of ourselves, really. Isn't that empowering?
Yes.
Sorry, I had to share that because I thought it was very empowering.
Well, speaking of empowering, you essentially have built an empire. And we want to know how to do this. If somebody's aspiring to do something like you're doing, what steps did you take? How did it all come together for you?
I think, and I have to admit, I've never, ever written a business plan in my life. Ever. I never have. I'm a very, I wouldn't by the seat, I wouldn't by the seat of my hand. I just do it. I'm a doer. There's so many people in our world that are not doers, the procrastinators, they sit on the ass, can I say that? And don't do anything about it. The dreamers. Well, you got to get off your ass and do something about it. And I'm a very proactive person. I think the reason why I have been successful is because I create a solution that is needed in the workplace, in the fitness industry. I am very creative. I am an innovator within the industry.
You are really creative.
Yeah. And I feel like I am an innovator. I've always been ahead of the curve. I could have predicted what's going on right now in the industry. I'm always like a step ahead. I don't know whether it's a gift, a talent, or whatever. And I also feel like I treat people on my level. So if I go and teach courses or I'm teaching my clients, I'm one of them. I just have a little bit more experience in why they're coming to me, but I never look down upon them. I never talk down to them. I talk on their level because I'm an expert in this, but they're an expert in everything else. And I like you to be heard. It's not all about me. We talked about this earlier on. I am really an introvert. You might think I'm an extrovert right now, but this is a lot for me to be able to sit here and be open, and then I'll shrink away and go back home into my little, home. So, but I think it is. It's just giving people the place to talk, to be you, because it's not about me. It's about you. And building that empire was really about that, I think, and the community, the people I've brought, the friendships that I've made. That has driven me to keep on going, to keep on moving. Because after COVID, God, that was so hard. The fitness industry was so bad. Like Booty Bar was like booming. And then all of a sudden, gone. I was like, yeah, exactly. Gone. You work so hard and then it's gone. And then things change. And then the fitness industry changed. And you're like, well, I could sit down on my ass, said that a lot now. I could sit here and just let it go and just disappear into the woodwork. Or I could just okay, I gotta hustle, I gotta pivot, I gotta move. And which we all have. I pivoted, moved, and went into something else. And now I'm coming back into this because it's all like Pilates, bar, fitness. It's all the same canvas. It's how you paint it. So I have a big presence within the educational department. I teach, I mentor a lot of up and coming instructors, but then I also work with the consumers. So I'm not only with the consumers that want to look great or want to feel empowered, whatever, but I'm also educating the next lineup of instructors coming up, which I think is really important. And I really enjoy doing that.
It's really smart.
So if I could sum it up, it's having foresight. It's being a problem solver. kind of figuring out where can I go next and pivoting. It's about collaboration and it's about commiseration. It's about being with the people that you are trying to reach rather than being above them, being with them.
You got it, girl.
Psychologists learn how to
Oh my
summarize
gosh.
really well, don't they?
Wow,
So what I'm hearing
amazing.
is stroke women.
I love that. It's so true.
Mhm.
Collaboration is the biggest community. Being heard
Yes,
and not shoved into a corner.
exactly.
We are all equal.
Exactly.
Love that.
I love it.
Fantastic. Love it.
If someone was struggling with starting an exercise program, do you have any advice for them?
Just move. Just move. Just move. Just walk. Just find something that you enjoy. I think I said that earlier on, but walking, just moving and finding something you enjoy. But also, I'm big on this. Really don't find someone that's qualified. Find somebody that's, got experience in this. Find somebody that's done their homework and is educated. Unfortunately, the industry is a little bit fickle, a little bit fake now because of social media. And then we have all these social media fitness stars who have no background but look absolutely fantastic. So you want to look like that person, but then they have no background to support it. That is the major problem right now. So if you are a newbie out there, make sure you find somebody that you know that listens to you or can work with on your problems that you need. I think that's, and I know you guys will agree with me on that. Most people out there will too.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people think that you have to exercise as a form of punishment to work off the, donut you ate yesterday. And I always, recommend people to find something that they love, because when they move and they love what they're doing in their movement, they're going to keep doing it. If you do it as punishment, it's not sustainable. So I love that you say that.
I feel like I love spinning. I used to teach it years ago. So every week I go and do my soul cycle class. I get just to sit on a bike and just move with the music and not teach anybody, just to zone out and try and compete with the younger generation. Like I can do this. I just love it. It's fun for me. I like it. So I'm going to keep on doing it.
Yeah, it's find something that you love, right?
This is how I found Pilates. I did one Pilates video and I was like, yes, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I need to do this forever, so I might as well become an instructor. And so I did this one video. I came to Tracey because I knew that she had a certification at ATP. And she asked me if I have ever done Pilates before. And I said, once. She was like, maybe you should take a class with me first. So I did the class and I was like, I'm hooked. I am hooked. But what would you say to the person who can't afford to do a certification course or can't afford to do, privates or group Pilates?
Well, that's why one of the reasons saying that I did the app as well, because it's affordable exercise. I mean, if you think about it, I think my app is what, $24.99, or if you buy this, if you buy a year, it works out a lot less. I mean, if you go out and have Starbucks every day, that's more than that. So it's not expensive. Bring new workouts every week, and I think it's more affordable for people. I mean, there's also obviously YouTube. I mean, there's so many free workouts on there. There's so much at your fingertips now that there really is an excuse to find something that you don't like. But then we go back to just make sure you're doing the right thing for your body, because there is so much out there to choose from that sometimes that gets a little bit in a weird predicament, But yeah.
Okay, so YouTube, there's the app. I think that there's plenty of places, there's rec centers as well, the YMCA. There's a lot of places where you can go to find affordable ways to get fit. And so
How do people find you?
Really social media mostly.
Can you tell us how they would find you on social media?
Well, I love Instagram. Well, I love to hate it. I shouldn't say that. I love what Instagram's done, because it's enabled me to meet so many people. The fact that I have to post all the time is a bit challenging. I am transparent again. It's hard. You're having to keep up all the time. You feel like one of those little durable hamsters on the wheel and you're just like trying to keep up. all the time, and all the algorithms keep changing all the time. 1 minute they want you to be real, the next minute they want you not to be real, the next minute they want you to be this and that. So it's very challenging. But Instagram and obviously social media, collecting from a marketing point of view, collecting as many emails as you can is a great way of sending emails out to people. If they open them, that would be great, but at least it's into their inbox. And that's really where most people find me. But also, I've been in the industry such a long time that I don't realize, honestly, how well known I am, because I'm on other apps like Pilates Anytime, which is an amazing app, and they have the best of the best Pilates people in the world. Are all amazing trainers. And that was started by a very good friend of mine 15 years ago. And I went on there to help her. And now actually it's been one of the most amazing experiences for me, because it's actually helped me. I went on there to help her, and it reversed, it helped me. And so being on that, they've got so many subscribers. I think that's really helped too a lot, because I'm on a legit platform now. Yeah.
Well, tell us, what is inspiring you this year? And it can be anything. It can be a book that you've read, a podcast that you listen to. What is fueling you right now and bringing you joy?
I have to say, well, from a professional point of view, I love that the fact that the Pilates industry has grown a lot, and I would like to give back to the new up-and-coming instructors, because I feel that the Pilates industry is taking a big hit. It becomes a little bit more fitness orientated. As much as I am in the fitness industry, I don't like the way it's going, and I can talk to you very candidly about that, because you're both certified and gone through a Pilates training. So there's a lot of franchises out there that are great, but also we've got to remember where it actually derives from. So we need to have better education for our next instructors coming up. That inspires me to keep moving. My dogs inspire me.
Ditto.
I know, I had to go there. I don't know. I always remember saying, it's probably about 10 years ago, I said, you know what, one day I'm going to have a house full of dogs. I'm going to be really happy, because I love being around dogs, because they make me feel so happy. And now I've got 4 dogs, and I'm like, how did that happen?
It's a dream within a dream.
It is. Because they love you no matter what.
That you can be, gross and lying in bed, and they'll just come up and cuddle you and love you and cheer you up and inspire you. They get you outside.
Adopt, don't shop. I'm sorry, I'm a big person on that, because all my dogs pretty much I rescued. One was from Tijuana on the streets. The other one, there was 4 little shepherds, and Amber decided that we were going to rescue them. We did. I had 4 shepherds. They turned out to be full-on shepherds. We found homes for 3 of them. My doctor took one of them. One of my friends' grandma, I got great homes for them. But then there was Lily, and she got these beautiful eyes. I'm like, okay, you might. So that was the 4th one. I'm not having any more, because they killed my house. But I'm happy. So there you go. It doesn't matter about the house, does it? It makes me happy.
Whatever makes you happy.
Exactly.
That's our focus right now. And we were so happy having you here. Thank you so much. We, I think, really want to know where people can, if they're interested in knowing more about you, where they can go to find out about you. If you could let us know that.
Yeah. Obviously, Instagram at Tracey Mallett, or at Pilates Barre On Demand is my app or website. And I put up new workouts every week. There's like 500 videos on there. Lots of programs, including the one that my beautiful friend here, Chantal's in. And she's also in the Beauty Bar video, because it has the old videos in there too.
Oh my God.
Has all the retro videos. Not that old. They're actually
in our 30s when I did that.
It was actually Beauty Bar is actually 15 years old. Actually, next year turns 15, Beauty Bar. And I did certify 8,000 instructors globally. So yeah, I know. It's a great boy. And 15 years. So I think he's about 15 years old, girl. Yeah.
Amazing.
So you got to look at that video or the app just to look at Chantal.
We would love to open it up to questions from the audience. So does anybody have a question? Come on up.
I've learned so much, but I'm curious how you see where Pilates has been and where it's going in the future.
Pilates is mind and body. It's where your mind meets your body. And I think Pilates has got a little bit too extrinsic and not about the mental focus, which we all know is so important. And because the younger demographic have really taken a liking to Pilates because of the social media influencers, it's not necessarily the things I see on social media that say it's Pilates. I'm like, that's not Pilates, you know? So it's a little disconcerting in that way. So I feel where it's come from is an amazing place, but where it's going to needs a little help, which is where I feel like I fit in because I've rode the fitness industry, I've rode the Pilates industry, I fit in both molds, but I really truly kind of meet in the middle. And I think I'm a good advocate to where it comes from, but I also know where it's going to and try and get those people where they're like right on the wrong side to bring them back somewhere in the middle to be a little bit more moderate with what they're teaching if they're going to call it Pilates. And already in my little small town that I live at, you remember I've had a studio for 25 years in our little town. And now all of a sudden, in the last 7 months, we've got 3 Pilates studios in like a 2-mile radius. So interesting how that has arisen but you got to understand the industry, and I've been in this a long time. It all goes in circles. It'll all fade off. When I started Booty Bar 15 years ago, there was no one doing bar. And then all of a sudden, there was that. And all those bar studios have all pretty much gone except for maybe one. And now it's Pilates, And so it's just interesting for me because of being in there. So my goal, and I want to tell you that I will be teaching a lot of teacher training programs, which I have been touring. I did a global tour this year. I've been to Rome. I've been to Korea 4 times. I've been to all over the US, England. I've been a lot of places teaching a little bit more contemporary Pilates. However, but it's always derived from where it's supposed to come from, because I think that's really important. But I'm also going to be doing teacher training programs for people that want to be a Pilates instructor. I feel like that's what I should be doing.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Come on down. The mic's over here.
Don't be shy.
You mentioned men, and I work at community services out of the city of Rancho, and I've noticed when the guys are filing in, all women, maybe onesie, twosie of the guys. And I talk to them because I want to know more. How do you market to men? And what kind of results are you getting when you take on a particular group? Or, what's your plan, or how do you determine your plan?
I think it's a great question because, Joseph Pilates, if we go from a Pilates point of view, he was a man. He was a boxer. No one knows that hardly. He was a boxer. He was an athlete. And so a lot of his work his calisthenics was very, very impactful. It was very, actually quite ballistic to a certain extent. You've seen, and it was derived from men at the beginning. But what happened is that women kind of went to the studio in New York, and then the dance community took it over. So they thought it was just for women, but it's really not. It's for men and women,
Men with back problems, I've found, like the ones that are there, they're there for a reason, not just to while away the time. It's serving a purpose.
So are you doing Pilates now?
I'm not doing it, but
you should.
I should.
You are now.
I think hopefully, if I've done one good thing in this podcast, I've inspired you, sir, to start Pilates, because honestly, probably one of the best things that you can do if you have back problems spinal stabilization.
Exactly.
Absolutely, you should be doing it.
Yeah.
This is not just for
Well,
women.
I do it anyway because I like to work out.
There you go.
But they're there because they hobble out of there.
They hobble
It's
out.
like, yeah, more injuries. You know what I mean? Anyway,
It's actually quite funny. My son is 20 and like he's an athlete, right? And I've been telling him since he's a little kid, you should do Pilates. You're an athlete, you should do it. Guess what? He loves Pilates now. It's only took me this long.
Yeah.
It might be because it's on social media, all the cute girls are doing it. He's like, oh, I think I'll try. And now you see him, he goes into the Pilates studio and he's doing his exercises. He goes, wow, this is so good, I can feel my abs. And I'm like, God, it's only took me this long. There you go.
That's awesome.
Next generation.
Well, we are out of time now. We are, like I said, so over the moon thrilled to have you on our podcast. We cannot thank you enough. We have learned so much and have become so inspired by your journey through ill health to absolute, just vibrancy and thriving and killing it in life. So thank you so much, Tracey, and thank you all for tuning into the ANEW Body Insight Podcast at City Club Los Angeles. We look forward to our next exciting interview and hope you join us and tune in and evolve with us. Thank you, Tracey.
Can I just say, I want to congratulate you guys. I mean, I walked into here and I'm like, this is amazing what you're doing. You should give yourself a round of applause for doing this.
Thanks for tuning into the ANEW Body Insight Podcast. Please remember, the content shared on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. You can find us anywhere podcasts are streaming, on YouTube at my.anew.insight and at anew-insight.com under the ANEW Body Insight Podcast tab. Follow us on our socials at my.anew.insight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more updates. Tune in next time and evolve with us.